Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of our Mutant Year Zero campaign, and we're going to jump straight back into it. So over to you, Ed.
Cheers. Where we left off last session, you'd come out of these really sickly woods, and you've made your way to this hill. On the hill, you've got this large building, and it's kind of got this winding sort of like road going up to it. And on the sides of the hill, you've got these sort of like overgrown, knotted kind of hedges, which have got like lots of sort of nasty kind of plants growing in. And you can just see just this predominantly on the surrounding area. It's this sweeping hill that stops at this building on the top. Building is a couple of stories tall. It's sort of like this red and kind of at some point was sort of a beige kind of building, and it's got a dome on the top of it. And as you've kind of like got to the base of the hill, you've come out of the sickly woods. This sort of like deep, dark kind of boom has come from the bell as it kind of brings this gong sound, and it just kind of carries on the wind.
Just once?
Just once. And then it just kind of slowly goes silently, but you can still feel the reverberations of the bell, sort of a couple of minutes after it's actually rung. And that's what you see.
Wow.
You should go for a warning. Perhaps we're lucky. Perhaps it's going to be lunch.
Have we seen something like this before?
Not really. I mean, it's an intact building. There's a lot of these kind of like styles of buildings from the time before. They usually mean there's something of importance, or it probably held at some point some importance. But from here, you have no idea.
Well, I mean, bells don't ring themselves, do they?
They do not.
Oh, there must be somebody here.
And you then notice as the day's been progressing, especially while you're in the woods, it obviously got slightly overcast, and rain starts to spit, and you start to get this fine kind of drizzle starting to kind of spit here and there as it starts to rain.
And time of day is afternoon, right?
It's probably it's sort of like early to mid afternoon. Yep.
How many hours of sunlight will we have roughly?
You probably got maybe 4 hours of sun left.
Okay, one zone exploration time.
Or alternatively, your stalker could rush you through the zones that you've already kind of explored at breakneck speed, and you could probably be back home in sort of like 2 or so hours, 2.5 hours. If you're very lucky.
Now, this building that's on top of this hill that had with the bell, how big is it? Could it house all 175 of our?
It could.
Okay, and
yep.
what kind of state is it in, from where we are standing?
From where you're standing, looking up the hill, it looks like it's in an okay state. I mean, it looks old and is obviously full of like, streaks of like soot and rain, and I mean, you can't really tell what the roof's like from where you are, but the brickwork looks probably fairly sound.
It doesn't look like a crumbling ruin, though.
It doesn't look like a crumbling ruin at all.
So, there's like two things going through my head. One is, oh shit, have we just been seen by whoever's inside? And the second thing is, that could be an arc. Top of a hill, a bell to sound an alarm.
A place that can hold 100, nature abhors a vacuum. So, a place that can hold over 170 people might also be filled with over 170 people.
Nah.
Is the glancing? I mean, I'm not in any way sort of one of the stalkers, but is there any signs of agriculture, like anywhere near that, like mud trails over winter that have?
No, as you look up, you can't see any of that sort of stuff. There might be stuff on the other side of the hill, perhaps, but from where you're looking up at the front of the building, you can't necessarily see that. You can make out sort of like the old rusted cars that are in sort of like the area in front of it, but no, you can't see anything that says there's agriculture, that no one's kind of farming or got any crops or anything like that.
And the rusted cars, have they been pushed into sort of barricades, or?
They don't. They look like they're however they were at the time of whenever it all went horribly wrong.
Well, that's a good sign, at least.
Circle around the building and maybe check out if there's signs of life around it somewhere.
Okay.
Gia, get your bow out,
Good call.
just in case. I'm gonna be like hunching behind a tree.
Yeah.
Like,
So you've got all the dead trees behind you, and then there's a couple of sort of like slightly well-off trees that are sort of like as you've kind of gone further on up towards the hill. But the hill itself is relatively bare of any trees apart from this
hedge thing.
These hedges that are kind of like, you would say they were strategically placed many years ago.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
Okay.
But they definitely present a barrier to anyone trying to get through them.
Aha. So getting up the hill, you have to go through this hedge.
To get up the hill, you can either go through the hedges, which takes a little bit of kind of like going backwards and forwards for,
Right.
or you can go straight up the path, up the road, which then leads up to where the cars are and in front of the building.
Too easy.
Yeah, seems suspicious.
I mean, if we go through the hedges, we can kind of stay low.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically, it's going to be a bit easier to kind of keep a low profile than just heading up the road. Or one of us could head up the road and see what happens while the other two sneak around the side. I'll do it.
Good.
Listen. I could probably. No one shot at us. That's a good sign. It's probably just there's some people there who are keeping an eye out. It could be people we could trade with. This could be a site we could maybe join with the people who are here. You know, strength in numbers. Why don't I try talking to them? You go around the side, through the hedge. I'll go up the road, distract them, right? And if they're bad, I'll run and scream, and Gia, you shoot them with your bow, and it's not a good plan.
It's not a bad plan per se. It's just really, really daredevilish. I mean, it's your life.
Look, we can't stay in that place that we're at right now. We've got to find somewhere else. This looks like a really good site, and I think we need to try maybe seeing if the people there are friendly.
I love this site. This totally needs to be explored. I'm just not sure you should be walking up that path like a...
Well, they know we're here already, don't they? They haven't attacked. No one's rushing after us.
Mm-hmm. No one's rushing out.
Okay, how about Dara, you come with me, and Gia, you go around the side, just in case we need to, something goes a bit pear-shaped. You can shoot an arrow at them. It's harder than like suppressive fire, but it's better than nothing.
I like that idea a bit better. Nobody's gonna mess with Dara, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Not if they get a good look at him.
And you just gotta hope that there aren't any traps that they've prepared in the hedge.
Yeah.
Would there be such a thing?
Or things to step on a empty road up to a perfect arc.
Oh, it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine.
This is a plan. This is a plan that would work. I'm not happy with Silas walking by himself.
Yeah, I kind of propose it and then immediately like, no, that's not a good plan.
Yeah.
But yeah, if Dara, if you're coming with me, then is it Dara, or
I don't mind. Dara.
Dara? I'll go with
It's,
Dara. All right, so
I'll
that's what we'll
figure
do.
out what he even talks like at some point. At
Okay.
the moment,
Yeah, we'll grow into our skins.
we will.
All right,
Okay,
come on, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. So Silas and Dara are going to walk up the path, and Gia is going to kind of sneak around through the hedges and bushes. Okay, Gia, see if you can continue with your. Sorry, Matt.
I was gonna say I'm also have my hands up while I'm walking too, like the universal gesture of I'm unarmed.
Gia, if you can make a sneak roll.
Yes, please. I did lose a bit of agility there, right? Let's see how that goes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm not that sneaky, you know.
So that's a failure.
Now you could
If you want,
push
you
that.
can push that if you wanted to.
Not particularly.
Okay. Okay. You make your way up the side, thinking that you're being particularly sneaky. And the other two, you start walking up the road. Put your hand up. The road kind of snakes up. It's fairly steep-ish. And as you're kind of walking up the road, you can see as you kind of like get up past the first loads of bushes and hedges, that there's bits of scrap laying on the floor in various places around in between the hedges. As you're getting a little bit closer, you can see that you've now sort of like got to not to the top of the hill, but you're kind of getting up the hill. And as you get up the hill, you can look down and you get like quite a good view of sort of like the tree line. So anyone who was presumably in any of the windows would have absolutely seen you if they saw you coming. And you can see that there's actually some traps, like man traps, which are kind of like just laying man traps.
Like
So
bear traps.
like a bear trap, yeah, which is just laying open in various places.
For sure.
Just in between the various hedges. And as you get a little bit closer, as you're getting towards where the hedges are stopped, and you've got a large expanse of open ground where the various old rusted vehicles are, you can see that there's various traps that have been sprung in the actual vehicles that have kind of been attached to the vehicles. And you can see that there's what's left of some bodies.
Ew.
Long time dead. There are just mostly skeletons where they've obviously been caught in these various spike traps that have kind of like whipped out behind a vehicle or come up from a vehicle or various different things. And you can see those kind of dotted around as well.
So these traps, do they look kind of rusted a bit? Like
yeah, they look rusted. They look old.
Okay.
Some of them are sort of like hanging off, sort of like where all the kind of like thread or the kind of vines that we used to bound them is all kind of gone. So definitely it looks like it was at some point a stronghold. But you can't see, there's no fresh kills, there's no fresh bodies laying around. And as you kind of get up onto that sort of larger platform where the various cars are, or the vehicles are, you can see the front double doors to the building, and there's columns that go up to the second floor, and you can see that as you get up here, there's in front of the double doors, there is a half broken pole that's kind of like swinging around. You wouldn't have been able to see it from the bottom, but as you've got up, and it probably held something tattered on the top that's kind of like broken over. You can see that there's some wording engraved on the top of the doors, but you don't know what it says. You can't read. Or can you? You might have it.
Oh, Silas
chroniclers. I think all chroniclers can read, can't they?
Yeah, in which case,
I think that
Make
might be
a
wrong with that.
comprehend roll, I guess. It's probably the best bet.
Okay, comprehend.
Cool. The first part of it's kind of like damaged and chipped, but the second parts of the wording in the actual stone says high school. And the first bit, there's probably some kind of frat, Lin, something, and then high school.
So, we're meant to have like notebooks with us, right? As chroniclers, we're meant to like take notes and
Rubbings
write down everything we see.
Yep.
So I'll probably quickly like take that out and just copy the words down, but not take. I'm a bit too nervous about like sketching what I'm looking at. It's more a case of like, just in case we need that again, like copy the letters down, and then I'll actually, with my hands kind of still up, say, "Hello, hello, anyone there?"
Yep. Okay. As you say that, you hear a snap from behind you. The sound of metal on metal. Gia, as you put your foot through a man trap.
Ouch.
And it makes an awful metal snapping, cracking sound. It doesn't do it. All it does is it basically, when you stand on it, both sides of the metal just ping off, and it just pings every direction and makes this horrible noise. But it looks like the actual trap itself, it's all in the sort of like the long grass and mixed up in between sort of all the things. They're just really old and broken, so when you stand on it, it just pings the whole thing apart. And so it doesn't actually hurt you, but it does make a horrible noise, and anyone within sort of like 200 yards will be able to go, "Oh, there it is."
Well, as I recover from the near heart attack, and since there's already been all that noise, I swear very audibly, and then I pull myself together to be more careful.
Okay. So Silas.
Yeah, I've called out hello. Is anybody?
Nothing.
Nothing. I'll approach the front of the whatever school is.
Mm-hmm.
He's not walking into what looks like a trap, is he, Ed?
Could be a trap.
I'm walking. I don't want to go like into the building just yet, because
No.
I think there are people inside. There's obviously traps everywhere. It's kind of daunting, but the traps aren't maintained. So I don't know who's inside this building. But we know there's somebody in there. Why aren't they coming out? They haven't attacked us yet.
Okay.
So I just want to I really want to talk to somebody and just see if there's potential here to make friends.
Is there, with the vehicles, is there something like, this is going to sound ridiculous, I want to make like an improvised shield in case I have to protect Silas. So can I tear a door off, or is there a bonnet?
Yeah, you could probably tear a door off. It's all rusted through, so yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't just like. You'd have to give it a good of a kicking and maybe a bit of pulling and a twisting. That's something to do.
I'll kick a door off and grab it, and then go stand a step ahead of Silas.
So that'll probably take you about a minute or two to do that.
Yeah, I'll wait. Well,
you're like,
doing that.
Hello, crang, smash, crash, smash.
Don't mind him.
From the long grass. Yeah, yeah.
So as we're all making all these kinds of noises,
Yeah.
do I see anything at all in the building?
So from where you are, from the side, you can see through some of the sort of like broken windows. Now that you've actually got a lot closer, you can see that A lot of the glass is missing. It's kind of boarded up in a lot of places. You can see there's scorch marks down the side of the building where you are. You can see what's left of some bodies, sort of like, or there's some what's left of some skeletons at the side of the building, sort of like as if they were kind of either coming in or going out of one of the windows. There's probably about 15, maybe, you reckon. There's quite a lot of bones. And you can't see anyone moving inside or anything like that. But what you can see is, well, more you can hear something on the first floor or the second floor, depending on where you are, looking down over you. There's a window, but you just get this sense that someone's watching you.
Oof. Well, I keep an eye on that general direction.
Yep. Meanwhile, crash, smash, rip. Yep, you've got yourself this part of a door that you've now managed to pull off, and you've got like a roughly door-shaped kind of shield with a big hole in the middle.
Yeah, it's like I'll stand looking through if just holding it. I'm so worried about like Silas and Gia, because we need him to survive in the future. We need Gia so that we can get back to where we are.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't mind taking a hit or two, but these guys are my primary concern.
Okay. Yep. So you wait there for a period of time, enough for you to kind of get antsy that there's nothing happening.
Yeah, probably like no more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like no answering call coming back. I'll kind of slowly let my hands drop.
Yep.
Dara, what do you think?
I think we go in. I'll go in first. Make sure that the coast is clear, or at least they're friendly. And if they're not friendly, you can sweet talk them.
I mean,
and if that fails,
it might be hard to sweet talk them with. No offense, but you're quite an intimidating person, Dara. And
yeah, I've got a winning smile.
I'll draw my machete.
And that's gonna win you friends?
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I should keep. I mean, it's just I don't want to be caught. I don't know. Like if they're watching us, which I think they are probably, then they know Gia's like creeping around up the side. That's not gonna, put us in a favorable light.
The dead know Gia's creeping around. It made little sense to be silent. Yes. Right. After you then, boss.
All right. I will have drawn my machete, but then I'll put it back, like tuck it into some strap of cloth or whatever I've got to hold it in place. And then I'll kind of do the equivalent of like tucking my thumbs into my my braces and kind of try and muster as much nonchalance as I can as I stride towards the front of the building.
Okay. You stride towards the front of the building. The doors are all partially open. You kind of have to kind of push one door to kind of open it properly. And inside you've got this really nice entryway, and there's a staircase going up. There's various hallways going off to the left and right and going deeper into the actual building. There's light coming through from sort of like the overcast sky. So yeah, you can see quite well. Inside it looks like there was some kind of long gone fight between some various factions, and there's a lot of leftovers from that fight. So there's a lot of kind of like dead, there's bones here and there. There's people have obviously fell and they've just always been there. Doesn't seem to be any like equipment or any kind of like weapons or any gear. There's that presumably has long since been like taken and used, but it's definitely whatever the leftover is of whatever has happened here.
As I see the guys entering the building, there's no point in me giving them cover anymore. So I'd love to catch up and join them.
Yep, that's cool.
I'm not going straight in either, so there'll be plenty of time for you to catch up.
Yep, so you'll kind of get in, you wait, you stand at the entranceway.
So my thinking is walking up to the entranceway, and if no one's there, would be to kind of shout like, "Knock, knock."
Yep.
I'll sort of stage whisper, "I think there's somebody upstairs. Not sure I saw something, but there's somebody upstairs."
Hey, we heard the bell, so we know you've seen us. Look, we just want to talk. We don't want to come barging in where you live and do anything like that. We just want to talk. We're being a bit cautious because, you know, this zone can be a dangerous place.
Silas, let me know when you want to go in. And I'm preparing to push the door open with my baseball bat.
Yep.
So we'll wait like another minute. If no one replies, then I'll just kind of like I guess nod to Dara like, all right, let's do this.
Okay. I'll push open and expecting spikes or
Okay.
Yeah,
you push open. There's a little bit of resistance as you kind of like push whatever's behind the door further on in. And yeah, you've got the inside of the building, which is long since anything that's been of any kind of organic material has long since basically just been destroyed. It's there's little tiny bits of like flooring that was like a mosaic, which is like a black and white kind of coloring thing at some point. There's various sort of like things on the walls that probably held like maybe things or stored things. Along one side, there's a whole load of little doors in all these like rusted kind of little boxes along one side of the wall. And there's stairs going up either side. And it looks like it was at some point quite a nice, grand kind of building. But it is deathly quiet. There's not a sound. There's leaves and stuff that have kind of like blown in from sort of like the hedges that have since died and sort of like fallen on the floor. And you get the occasional eddy of sort of like wind kind of blow through. On the far side of the actual building to you, this long corridor or main like entranceway, goes all the way to the end, and there's some broken down doors. And so obviously there's a wind that kind of like goes between the two corridors. But yeah, there's various different doors and corridors to the left and right, and stairs going up.
Upstairs, you said, Gia.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Well, you're a stalker. You're a finder, so maybe you should take the lead.
Do we see any like sort of, you know, like are there footsteps in the dust or something? Is there any sign that there's anybody there?
So there's like bits of dirt around and leaves, but there's definitely no like kind of standing dust because of the wind that can come backwards and forwards. So you can't tell if there's anyone that's been here. There's definitely no footprints. There's no muddy footprints. There's nothing like that kind of says someone has been here, other than the fact that a while ago, obviously, there was some kind of skirmish battle type thing. And people...
I want to say, obviously, one person is quite enough to take us out, depending. But so it would be safe to assume that there probably isn't 36 people hiding upstairs, unless they're very cleanly.
Yeah, maybe. There doesn't seem to be any sign of habitation that you can tell.
Okay. Yeah, I don't feel horrible about this. I take the lead and inch up the stairs.
Okay, yeah, you inch up the stairs. Yeah, you do it quietly.
I mean, clearly we've announced that we're there. I want to say I don't do it. I don't sneak, but I tip.
Yep.
You know, one.
You're testing
one
the floor carefully.
Enough.
Each.
Yep. That's fine. Yeah, you test the floor carefully. You make your way up and through. You go through sort of like doors, and as you go through sort of like corridors, this is what you're following as you kind of go up the stairs. There are sort of like symmetrical sized rooms in various different places throughout the building. Each room looks quite similar. There is some kind of weird thing on the wall in every single room, as if it's like the head of a room looking into the room. And then there's other old storage spaces in various places. And there's leftover like tubes of metal, the odd piece of wood here and there on the floor. And I don't know. Yeah, Silas, as you kind of like walk into looking into one of these rooms, you can see there's something on the floor which you've not seen before. It appears to be a fist-sized block on the floor that's different colors.
The single block is different colors?
Single block, and there's different colors on each of the
When you say
sides.
block, you mean like what sort of size?
Like about fist size, so probably about that sort of big.
Right. Block as in like a dice sort of shape.
As a D6 shaped block of wood, and each side looks like it's got a different color, potentially.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Okay.
And it looks like a different color on each one, and there's something on each side.
All right, I'll kind of. I mean, this kind of sounds a bit like an artifact to me. So, I'll be drawn towards it like a moth to the flame.
Someone with a string just pulling.
Something from the old. Something from the old.
As we walk around, how do we do this? Is it like, you know, sort of one person entering a room, one person standing by the door and waiting, and one person peering down the corridor on the opposite side, or?
Sure.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay.
So,
they take your leave, Gia, to decide how to do it.
I think, Gia, you should probably look into the rooms first.
Mm-hmm.
Dara can stand next to it, so if he needs to rush in to help,
Yep.
or if he needs to stay in the corridor to help, he's kind of poised between it, and I'll be the one nervously peering up and down the corridors.
I'll wave you to this interesting object. Silas, check this out. This is weird.
It looks like
It's one of them old things.
I'll try to sound confident. Oh yes, I think I know what that is. I think I may have read about this in that comic. And I'll kind of rush over to it.
Yep.
And I'll kind of like crouch down, looking at it before touching it. I'll actually get my machete out, and I'll kind of tap it. I'll kind of tap it first. Just checking.
Okay.
Can't be too careful. Can't be too careful.
When you tap it, it doesn't sound like wood.
Okay.
And it's relatively light.
Yeah. I mean, I think I know what this is, but yeah.
Yeah, you
and when I'm closer
pick
to it, do I notice that they're like is it covered in like dust and grime sort of thing, or?
Yeah. It's basically been there for a while.
So I'll reach out and I'll kind of gingerly pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up. Each side has got a different color, and then once you kind of wipe the dust and grime away, there's like each side has got multiple little squares inside each little square in a bigger square, and there's a lot of them. And
is each side a solid color, or are they all mixed up? Okay, so
no, they're all a solid color.
So I'll kind of like shift it slightly as I pick
You
it up.
start moving it, and you go, "Whoa, it moves!"
Oh wow, this is interesting. Okay. Yep.
Yep. It all moves in different ways. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Rubik's cube. I mean,
Cool, kind of like-
artifact.
yeah.
Cool. I'll put it in my super special artifact container, my backpack.
Okay. Yeah, you continue on searching through the building until you get to the final room, which is sort of like you have to kind of go around the building to get to the middle of the building, and there's sort of like a door. The first thing you notice that there's actually a light coming from the room. So everything else you've been looking at through just the natural light that's coming through the windows. But the central room, which is under you would imagine is under the base of the dome, you can see a light coming from it, and you can suddenly smell the smell of a fire burning.
Okay.
All right. Do you think we should maybe, take cover behind your door?
Yeah, step behind.
What kind of behind you out the door?
We'll, I think any surprise was lost a long time ago. Maybe we just go in with smiles and kind words.
Okay. As you kind of wait, you can hear someone shuffling around inside this room. The door is almost shut, but it's just enough to let some light from the flickering light of whatever fire's inside.
So I'll go up to the door.
Yep.
And I'll say, "Hello? You've got visitors."
You can hear the sound of footsteps coming closer.
I'll take a step back.
I'll pull you back from the door.
And this door opens, and you can see a woman standing in front of you, an old woman. She's got really creased eyes. Her head is completely shaved. She's wearing sort of this grey kind of tabard over some very threadbare clothing. And she's got this line across her forehead.
A line.
Just like a
It's
a yellowy kind of line that's just been drawn onto her forehead.
Okay.
And she says, "Hello." The first thing you notice, her eyes are completely white. You can't see any pupils or anything.
Elders come in girl flavor too.
Yeah. Are you an elder?
She looks towards you and says, "Yes, how can I help you? Who are you? Come closer, let me see you."
I'll take a step closer.
She holds out her hand to you.
I'll grab the hand if she reaches out to his face.
Yep, okay. So you take a step forward and grab her hand.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with her hand?
So, what are you doing, Elder?
"I need to see you," she says as she she's now touching your hand and sort of feeling your hand.
Imagine
Okay.
her surprise when she finds there's more.
Three other hands.
I'll throw a look to Silas, waiting.
Come in. And she kind of turns around and walks back into the room.
This is odd.
I look back down the corridor. If there's if there's anything behind us.
Nope. Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm okay to go in.
I'll go in too.
I mean, she's an elder. Elders never done evil things to anybody, have they?
She seems nice.
But who's feeding her?
point.
Yeah, you look into the room. It's not a particularly big room. There is a cot in the corner. There's a small, like, little camp stove with wood burning in it. There is a small pot, which is off to the side. There's sort of like a drinking cup, like an old metal kind of like cup, and there is a remade, hastily kind of put together rope that hangs up into the sort of dome.
The bell.
The bell.
Yeah.
You realize that there are no windows in this room. The only thing that's in this room is just what I've described. There's leftover food and stuff sort of like laying about. So it looks like she's obviously getting food from someone, like packaged food, rather than she's actually going out to get the food. But yeah, it's just she kind of says, "Can I offer you a drink?" As she kind of feels around on the floor for the pot, and she puts the pot on the stove, and then she kind of spits into the cup, throws whatever's left in there, and puts it to the side, and kind of fishes around for some leaves. She puts it in the little cup. Some of the leaves go on the floor, and then you realize there's actually leaves all over the floor from wherever she's been putting whatever she can into the cup. And she takes a sit down on the little sort of like bed.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Where are you
Where's
getting
your
food
children?
from? Yeah, where are your children?
I don't have any children. This is where I ring the bell.
Why
All
do
the
you
elders had children.
Why do you ring the bell?
It's my duty to do that. I ring the bell every day at the same time, so that others know that the time is drawing near.
The time.
Yes, when the special one is born, and we will all ascend.
Will ascend?
So the special one hasn't been born yet?
No, but it's soon. It's soon, I'm told.
But who's gonna have a child? We can't have children.
Oh, the chosen one is going to be. It's going to have the chosen one. She kind of seems to be stumbling over words. That's okay. They will arrange it. The chosen one will arrange it, and then the chosen. No, that's not right. No, that's definitely not right. Who are you again, dear?
I'm going to look round as a bit of a sort of sit rep kind of. Although I'm just a brute.
Yes.
It's just to see if there's anyone where I'd be hiding if I was wanting to hide in here.
There's nowhere to hide in here. It's a small room. There's no place to hide.
And then I've got quite a lot of wits. Like it's my second highest strength, second highest sort of.
Yeah.
But I imagine I'm pretty canny with regards to some things, and it's like someone's feeding her, Silas. So she's ringing a bell at the same time every day. How does she know that? And then this talk about chosen ones and ascending and new children. She's either mad or there's too much to learn here.
As you say that, she's just grinning at you. Just like, she looks like she's very happy and that kind of like, everything's great.
Where are the rest of the people from this building?
Oh no, it's just me. She then looks around and says, but they'll be back soon.
Okay.
And then and then they will arise. They will arise like they will arise like they. I'm sorry, I do forget. That's probably why I'm here.
You say they? Who's the they? A little bit confused myself.
The priestess.
Is she coming back here today?
Someone will come back today. Someone comes back every day.
Do you think they'll be mad at us visiting with you?
Well, I assume that you will. You'll go back to where you're supposed to be. That's why you're here, isn't it? You're here to give me my food.
Oh, you can have some grub if you want to.
Thanks. She kind of like goes underneath the bed, and pulls out a bowl, and kind of wipes the dirt and stuff off of it, and whatever was left over from yesterday, and she puts it sort of like, she hands it to you to kind of give it to you, and she lets go of the bowl, thinking you've got hold of the bowl, and the bowl falls on the floor.
I pick it back up, and I give her one of my rations.
Okay, cool. You give her some of your grub.
You're far too kind, Gia.
Look at her.
She's just smiling at you.
I mean, I'm happy because I know sometimes you share your food with me, but this looks like a betrayal to me.
She's an elder. This is I presume those nasty guys who chased us all week, they were not. They didn't have elders. That's what happens to you when you don't have elders.
Yeah, you didn't really see any elders, but I mean, you were too busy being shot and running away. So
yeah.
Did they have yellow lines painted on their faces?
They did not have yellow lines painted on their faces.
I mean, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
She has no children.
Okay, someone's going to come back here to give her food. We need to talk to them.
Do we find out what the elder's name is?
What's your name?
What's my name?
Yeah.
It's Gladys.
Pleased to meet you.
What's your name?
I'm Gia, and this is Silas, and that's Dara.
Are
the
you
one
new?
with big hands.
I don't recognize your names. Are you new?
We're new, yeah.
Oh, I see. Are you prepared for the luminescent one?
Lumi what?
The luminescent one.
That's a big word. Do you know that word, Silas?
Yes, I think so. It means very.
Right.
It's a bit hard to explain, actually. Don't worry about it.
I scratch my head.
So the names who normally brings you food. What are their names?
Oh, that would be Beth, and sometimes Jake comes with Beth, but not always. Sometimes I think the other one is Tina that comes. They're lovely. They're really lovely. I think Tina's new as well, but they take care of me. They brush my hair. As she kind of like she motions to her non-existent hair. Because she's completely shaved, but she kind of like strokes where her hair would be, and she says, but they take care of me. It's okay because now all I need to do.
As she names names, as Beth and Jake and Tina.
And then they take care of me. Yeah, so that's what they do, and then Who are you again?
My name's Silas.
The new ones.
Silas. Oh yes, Silas and Jake and Beth, right?
That's right.
Okay.
We brought you food.
Oh yes, that'd be great if you could give me some food.
Yeah, it's in your bowl there.
Oh, thank you. She starts eating the food.
I'm gonna gesture to Gia and Dara to leave the room. And then in the
Did
in the
we
hallway
Hey, come in with
outside-
us.
how she knew that it was time to ring the bell?
No, we didn't ask that.
I
She
think
could-
I'd like to try and ask her before we leave.
Remember, we're mutants, so she could potentially have some sort of mutation herself that allows her to.
Oh yeah, you're right.
To
Yeah.
know 1 o'clock exactly every day. So the worst.
My
the
power
worst
is-
mutation.
I'm
The
called
power is
Kronos.
to know the time.
Accurate time management.
Or, I mean, maybe she sees without her eyes, or something.
I've always said
Yeah.
this game is basically you play shitty X-Men. That would be a pretty shitty X-Men.
Yeah, so she's quite happy sitting there. She's smiling at herself. She's talking a little bit under her breath and eating your grub that you provided her.
Goodbye, Gladys. Take care.
Oh, bye-bye. She waves at the wall.
I think we need to. I think we should try and see who's coming to see her. And
Yeah, she only mentioned 3 of them, right? That's not too
Hmm.
many. We can take on 3 if they're hostile.
she didn't say it was sometimes just 1 or 2.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't sound. I mean, it doesn't look like there'd be dozens of people in and out here every day.
I think we need to just basically hide in one of the side rooms
Mm.
and just camp for a bit and wait and see.
I think
We'll
that's
hear
a
them
great
coming.
idea. I have to ask a lore question if I may.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is like super metagamey or something, but is there like a chance that like there's no way that the others looking after her would be ghouls, right?
Probably not, no.
Well,
Unless
there's
they're,
like, they don't.
unless they're fattening her up for
Probably-
food later.
I guess you're the only person among us who probably would have seen a ghoul, to be honest.
Yeah.
And probably then only from a distance.
So I'm fully expecting other mutants. I'm not expecting very.
No, so in
I'm
your
expecting
past,
people like us. For
the,
sure.
the elder would have said that you were special, and there are other people who who aren't the same, that are not as special as you. You know,
Yeah.
and that's how it was framed to you when you were sort of like growing up.
Is
So,
there,
I
is there
guess
still
the-
much? Sorry, after you, Chris.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering how much of this building is left unexplored.
You've pretty much gone through most of the building, but you've not spent a huge amount of time like checking every nook and cranny of it. But you've kind of like done a brief sweep, and you've not seen anything other than the thing that Silas found that's kind of out of place or of any kind of importance, I guess.
And there's no other buildings.
There's no other buildings. It's just this one building.
Right.
Of the things that Gladys said, like the sort of religious undertone would probably be completely lost on us, right?
Yeah.
So it's like ascension we would have never really heard. I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing that you've ever remembered or understood or anything like that.
Well, I love the plan of hunkering down in one of the rooms and just waiting for the next shift.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Well,
Well, on
we
the
kind of
plus
need to
side,
find. We need to find.
It's
shelter.
dry.
Yeah.
It's dry in here.
So we could
And,
even do watches.
yeah.
Like we could. One person could kind of keep watch
Mm.
while the other 2 sleep. We'll all need to eat. We'll all need to eat and drink something as well.
And I heard that there was wood lying around, so that sounds like we could have a fire as well.
Well, we'll give up the element of surprise if we do.
Yeah, if you have a fire, then people will know you're there.
That's true. I don't know how cold it is.
It's not cold. It's spring. It's warm enough to just lay on the floor. In fact, it's not like kind of.
Okay, so I guess that's the plan. Like, we'll find a room. I think we'll all eat and drink something.
Yep, that's fine.
And then we'll take it in turns to like rest while we're waiting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we should probably all reduce our grub and water by 1.
Yeah, take your water and grub by 1, and you can heal your if you rest, which you'll rest enough. You can get your damage that you've had back.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, you spend a bit of time resting, relaxing, talking in hushed tones, and you wait for a while. You rest for a little while. It definitely starts to get dark, and then once it's dark, you hear the sound of footsteps coming down the hallway, and you see someone with a torch. In fact, you see someone with what you think is a torch, but it's quite a sturdy kind of light. And you see 2 people walk past holding a light in a box, but there's no flickering of fire. They're just walking straight through towards where the other elder is. We'll use Gia's kind of word for it. And they both walk past. They're both wearing sort of like grey, kind of white, kind of tabards and robes, and they're walking sort of past you. They don't even see you lot in the thing. They don't even check the room that you're in. You see them walk past to go to the old lady.
All right.
What did they look like? Were they our age? They grown-ups too?
Yeah, they look like they're grown-ups. They look nearer your age, but they definitely are grown-ups.
But they're not elders.
No.
Do we notice any mutations on either of them?
No, you just see them from the behind as they quickly walk past you.
Right. I mean, what I mean is like they don't have like scaled skin.
They don't seem to be scales. They don't seem to have any kind of like
noticeable.
special arms. There's none of that sort of stuff.
Do they have hair or are they shaved as well?
They both got shaved heads as well.
Do they have yellow lines as well?
You can see that.
Okay. I was totally blinded by their super fancy lantern.
Yeah.
All right. I think after
I
they've
want a
gone
lantern
past,
like that.
after they've gone past, it's probably worth us creeping up behind them. Well, when they go into the room with Gladys, I think is then when we exit our room.
Yep.
And then we.
Did we have a plan? Do we want to, listen
We
in,
just
or
want
do
to
we
talk to them.
ambush them
I
when
think.
they come back out?
I think we talk to them.
A plan is just a list of things that can go wrong.
My plan is just basically let them get into the room with Gladys and then follow them into the room. The room is small. There are no windows, no other doors. So
We're armed. They've got a light.
we're in the doorway.
I
Yeah,
like it.
Okay.
that's it. Like basically walk up to the room and kind of push it open, giving it a little knock
Yep.
as I do.
One of them turns around and looks at you. You can see it's a woman, and she also has this yellowy line across her forehead, and she kind of gasps as she sees you.
Beth, is it?
She looks at you really confused for a second. And the other guy who turns around, the light has been put on the floor, and he turns around, and in his hand, he's got like a knife.
Jake, there's no need for any violence.
He also looks at you really confused.
I love it.
Beth turns around and says, "How do you know who I am?"
We're not enemies.
She says. She looks at you.
We're here for the luminescence.
looks over
Sorry,
at sort of.
drinking my face, right?
So Beth looks between you, scaly, weird-looking, bobble-eyed freak,
We want
across
to
to
look at the
across to
sticker.
the weird, like bow-legged, frog-legged, crazy woman, and the what the hell? Why have you got too many arms?
Oh no! all you can see is just a huge.
Just the two arms.
Oh, the sheepskin.
Oh yeah. You keep it close, don't you? So, they kind of. She looks at you and she kind of, she takes a step back and says, "How do you what?"
We didn't plan this out very well, did we?
Beth, calm down. If we were think about it. If we wanted to hurt you, we would have done that already. We're not here to hurt you. We're simply here to talk about the luminescence, about the chosen one.
Oh, you know. Oh, okay. She seems like
the time is drawing near, is it not?
It is. We're waiting.
We've heard the calling.
She kind of sighs.
I know.
Really?
I know we don't look like you, but the chosen one will unite everyone.
She says, "Yes, the luminescent child will. She will bring about a new order, and I can't believe you've heard about it. Plutonia will be so happy."
Sorry, what's that word you just said?
Plutonia.
Oh.
She says, "How did you find out about us?"
I had a vision.
Someone give us a bell.
So you two heard the same thing as Plutonia, that one day the luminescent child will be born.
No,
And-
you don't understand. I had a vision. I saw the luminescent one. Told me to come here to find Beth and Jake and Gladys.
Really? She just looks completely sort of like amazed.
I mean,
Makes me everything I've
it's
got
not-
to keep my face straight.
it's not like in the rules, but I almost want to use one of my reptilian powers, which is the entrancing a humanoid. But I might need to save. I only have one mutation point. I might need to save it for their boss. I think I've entranced her enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to do from the Jungle Book. You know, the sort of
Yeah.
the eyes.
Yeah.
I
was thinking of from the old Robin Hood movie.
Yeah.
The serpent. In
Hiss.
Yeah. So she's kind of like really kind of taken aback by the fact you know a lot about her and what's happening, and so she says, what am I to do? You see Jake in the background's kind of looking a little less certain about everything, but he's just kind of obviously following Beth's lead. So what happens in your vision?
Oh, the vision only told me to come here and to seek you out.
Maybe I meant to show you. Maybe you were meant to come with me. Maybe you were meant to join. Plutonia would be so happy with me. I would have brought more people into Nova. That yes, you should come with us. Yes, indeed. She says, and she takes a couple of steps forward, and she goes to grab both your shoulders.
Yeah.
Now,
And she says, sure, why not? She says, yes. And she kind of like shakes you and says, yes. And she looks over at you two And she kind of goes, indeed, yes. And she sort of like touches Gia on the shoulder. And then she goes over to you, Dara, and says, of course. And she kind of like pats your arm.
When she touches us, do we feel anything?
Nope. And she says, yes, of course. And she takes your hand.
I'm going to reach out.
Yes.
But while she's doing all this, I'm going to reach out a hand and place it very slowly and gently on Jake's shoulder.
Okay.
And say, brother. Sorry. Oh, God. You seem troubled.
I'm not particularly happy with this situation. He's still got the knife at his side. It's not raised or anything. He says, I don't really know you, and I'm not particularly happy with taking you to where we live.
I understand. Listen. Visions can be confusing, and prophecy is not something that can just be explained very easily. I think maybe to set your mind at ease, you should return, tell Plutonia about our meeting, and we'll wait here for Plutonia to come and speak to us. We'll stay right here. We won't go anywhere. We've already shared some of our food with Gladys. We'll make sure that she stays safe here, and bring Plutonia tomorrow.
You make a manipulate roll.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Beth has brought a hook, line, and sinker. Jake, not so much.
There we go. 2 successes.
Yep, that'll do it. Yeah, he's in agreement. He thinks that seems like the best plan. You realize that the more you could like say a few things to him and you talk to him, you've kind of like now touched him. So you've got that bond with him because you've actually entered his personal space. He's like, okay, yeah, that seems like a better idea. I think that's yes, indeed, Beth. I think that's a better idea. We should come here with the others, and then, yes, that seems like a plan. Why don't we do that? Yes.
Don't forget to tell Plutonia how we met. It's important.
Of course.
It's important
Absolutely.
that she doesn't think we're just some strange, random strangers who've wandered out of the zone and are trying to take advantage. We're following a higher path here.
Beth says, of course not. Of course not. It makes... I will tell her personally, I will take full responsibility. And if I have to, I will clearly be sacrificed if that is what's required. Absolutely.
Sacrificed?
We will go... Well, to tell you what, we will absolutely... Yes. Come on. Gladys, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine with these random strangers.
Yeah.
We're visions.
They kind of have a...
Visions.
They kind of go over to a corner, have a quick like chat with each other. They kind of nod, and they say, if you stay here, we will be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. And they kind of leave you to it, and they kind of like go to leave.
Okay. Well, we'll go to leave. Well, I mean, I don't have any plans to stop them. What about the other two?
I love this so much. That's a brilliant turn of events.
You want them to leave unharmed? Yeah. Okay. Then I'll step back. I mean, do you want?
I mean, my plan is to just follow the crazy train here.
I'll take a step back and join the tracks then.
We might need to shave our heads and.
Yep. Okay. Gia, are you going to just let them go as well?
This is brilliant. I mean, haven't they always told us that it's such an issue that there's no babies, and suddenly they're talking of people having babies?
I know, right?
This would be awesome.
We're letting them leave, right? We're not saying that in front of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they leave. You
Or
can kind of
Gladys.
watch
I'm
them
not.
go.
Gladys might repeat stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think she will, but we need to go back to the room that we'd camped in before, and
Yeah.
I think
So
make a game plan.
you watch them go, and it's not difficult to spot them. They kind of like, as they go out, they've got this light which they kind of hold out in front of them, and it illuminates all around them. They're not difficult to watch as they kind of wander off, and they go down into the.
Can we watch like from a window?
From the window, yeah, from the window you can look down. And you can see them go down the steps. So
Like
you
where they're kind of roughly where
go
they're
down
going.
the path, and they go down into the woods.
The woods that we came out of.
The woods.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So off to the west.
Mm-hmm. And you can see them for a little while from your vantage point as they keep going west,
Armed with a knife.
armed with a knife at night with the
Yeah.
light.
Mm-hmm. The luminescent one is protecting them, I guess.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay. So, like, what? Yeah, I mean, they talked about sacrifice. That's not good.
They're talking about children being born.
Yeah.
I mean,
Character and player wise, I'm sort of very torn. I mean, like, I presume I have like absolutely no sort of frame of reference of prophecies and religion, and I think this all sounds incredibly fantastic, awesome.
Yep.
My thinking is that we can either bring our entire arc here, take this building because there's one old woman inside.
Yeah.
Not gonna be difficult to take her over, and these two like people we just saw are not warriors. Like, if it came to a fight, I mean, I'm even thinking like I could probably take him. That's not a knife. As I pull my machete out. So like, you know what I mean? Like, let's see where we can take this. We can let it slip maybe that we're part of a bigger group, and that I can just bullshit this whole thing that the chosen one appeared to me in a vision and told me to come here, and that the rest of our group didn't believe me and didn't believe that I would find anything, and that I like you two are the only ones who agreed to follow me here, and I'm just kind of just improvising here as I'm going, as you can probably tell. But maybe we could bring, like, somehow convince them that it's meant, like, I'm meant to bring our arc to this place.
Out of character, I wonder if we're gonna end up being sacrificed to whatever or whoever, but
The three of us, it's possible, but there's an arc full of NPCs ready to be turned into PCs to find our remains, right?
That's how it works.
and avenge our deaths.
I mean, that's why we created so many NPCs, right, in the character creation.
I love this. I totally want to see more about that. Like, I want to know what this cult is about, and I want to investigate this. And
All you have to do is sit tight for a day, then, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, the big question is, do I stay here by myself while the two of you either?
Yeah, we could.
It's
go
too late to
grab
follow
some
them,
muscle
but we
from
could.
the Yarrick, right?
You could tonight try and scuttle back there, grab some help, and come back.
Yes. Travel through the sector maps through at night. Yes, do that.
Travel through the spooky woods with fog. I mean, hey, the Nova cultists did, so Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
I mean,
There's a lot of
super
different
all
things we could do
rested
here.
up now. I could just like do this at like sunrise tomorrow, head straight back home and be back for for lunchtime.
You could do.
And we don't know exactly when this Plutonia is going to be here. They might not be that far away. She could be here at at dawn. She could be here the following night.
Yep.
And you need to rest, Gia.
What didn't we just rest while we waited for them?
Yeah, you've kind of rested and stuff. So you've eaten and drunk.
You've got all of your attributes back as well?
Yep.
Okay. All right. That was more what I was thinking, like you're not damaged anymore or exhausted. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, as a player, I'm very happy to improvise and just kind of see where this goes.
I mean, in play, in character, I'm just gonna. This is an absolute crock of shit, Silas. This is like when my friend Early promised me that he had all this grub as long as I laid the hurt on one of Fink's collectors, and
but
when we got there, absolutely nothing. Just the only thing he had was empty words. This is that with a child.
But there's no child, is there?
No, that's what I mean.
That's
They're
the
running
beauty of
around,
this whole thing is
shaving their heads, painting lines on them.
they're clearly fucking bonkers. But let's look with this building. We can't take this building. I don't know.
Not that I want to, but if you want this building, I could go next door and I could club the elder. Into her sleep.
No,
she's not a
not
threat.
clubbing.
She can maybe she can marry our elder. Maybe they can have some babies, since we can't. That's how it works, doesn't it?
Maybe.
Well, I mean,
But
from what I've read,
would
an artifact.
we keep our elder in a building and trap them like that? These aren't good people.
Yeah, but that's
then,
why.
Then we have to free the elder, right? I find out why they're keeping her here, and then set her free.
Yeah.
Door was never locked. Just to let you know.
Oh, she wants to be. She's part of this group, this Nova group.
And she wants to ring that bell.
My biggest concern is that Plutonia is happy to sacrifice people, and if she is somehow doing this maliciously, and there is no chosen one, and there is no luminescent one, whatever that means, then she's not going to believe me that I saw a vision. She's going to know that I'm making it up. And we're going to be, and then we'll be in deep shit. But
And it'll just be two liars fighting lies with lies.
yeah, except
I'm sure
I'm sure she's probably, once the story's been told, she's probably going to be coming here with a lot of people behind her.
And a lot of weapons.
They don't have a lot of people. Why would they have a lot of people? And then not use this gorgeous building?
Well, while you do that, you all realize that you're all feeling a little bit queasy. Could you
Better find out.
could you all please give yourself one rock point?
Oh boy. Nice.
And make one.
We
dice
never rolled a know the zone thing for this zone, did we? We entered.
I think got one success. I think.
No, I don't think we did.
Yeah, I think I never specified what to use it for. I did have two.
Quick roll.
Find the path. Find the path. Find the path.
The last
Oh yeah,
find the
there was a
path
second
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. So no, there was 2 successes. So yeah, there was 2 successes. So yeah, you do have an option to use it.
Well, that's pretty metagamey now, but I guess.
Yeah, no, that's fine. We'll say you kind of got carried away with the
I found an artifact, so I think.
with the artifacts, that's fine. So yes, if you can all give yourself 1 point of rot, and that's interesting.
Then we have to roll, don't we?
And you have to roll 1 dice because that's whatever your rot is.
I think you can click the rot button, like where the word rot.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try it. Yeah, just click that and it'll roll 1 dice for you.
Oh, yes.
3. That doesn't
I think
sound
if you
Okay.
roll a 1, I think
You
it's
just
the
don't
1.
want a 1. That's all you don't want. Otherwise, you take 1 damage. But that's fine.
Why don't I have a number?
I don't know. You didn't roll anything. That's why. Did you?
But it,
No.
it says
No.
Have you added a 1 into your?
Yeah.
Oh well. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there's a. Oh, brilliant! There we go. Well, that's why.
This is
you
the
know.
Chris we know and love.
Mm.
So if you could take 1 strength damage, that would be great.
Woohoo!
Hooray!
I guess we're finding out why no one lives here.
Yeah, that might be helpful. So yeah, you've taken that. So you've got rot. When you finally get back to the Ark and you have a bit of time to kind of decontaminate, you'll have to make another roll. And if you get another fail, the rot stays with you permanently.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll wait to see what happens there. So yeah, you will start to feel a little bit queasy, but for 2 of you, it kind of passes. But for yourself, Gia, you've got the rot.
Okay. What are we doing?
Yeah.
I guess is the question.
That is the question.
Are we going to sleep through the night, leave in the morning, so that we're all rested and continue looking around for things, or like, are we gonna wait and see this through?
I think we wait. I'm out of character. I'm for waiting to see this through.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because the outside is sort of terrifying, and at least this high school is understandable in some respects. So
They got Rubik's cubes. This can't be a bad place. Never mind the rot.
Never mind the rot. Oh boy. Famous last words.
it's
If
already
the cultists
started.
don't get
It's
us, the
already
rot's
started.
gonna get us. Oh boy.
I mean, I guess we've got our rot done for today. We're not gonna catch more just by staying the night.
Nope, you've got your rot for the day. It's all fine. Okay, yeah, you do that. You're gonna wait the night and then see what happens. So you kind of wait until the next morning. But in the morning, you kind of are waiting around, presumably. Good old Gladys is happy to kind of like continue doing what she does. She seems to like bumble around in that room, doesn't really kind of go out or do anything. She talks to herself a lot. And she'll talk to you if you kind of spend any time with her in the morning. She doesn't really make a huge amount of sense. She just keeps repeating the same old stuff. She's clearly got a screw loose, or there's something going on, or she's really old and she forgets things. And sort of like early mid-morning, you see a group of these people coming up the path.
How many?
There are 7 of them.
Okay. Are they armed? I guess we're watching from a window, right?
Yeah, they appear to. So they've got a mixed match of weapons. Some of them have got machetes, which they're holding at their side. And none of them have got bags or rucksacks or anything. They've just got the woman at the front looks like Beth. She's got this this light still, but the light's not on. And there's a whole bunch of them. You can see Jake again, and then you can see another group of them, and they're all kind of like walking towards the thing, up the path, with sort of like a purpose to come to see you.
I guess it's too late now. I would like to. I think it would be good to receive them in the hallway,
Okay.
rather than in a room where there's no way out.
Yeah, you could quite easily go all the way down the stairs and stuff and wait there, which is what you can go and do. That's not a problem.
Yeah,
and you
I
can
think
see them.
actually waiting for them in the main entrance hall, like when, so they come into the building, and then we're kind of in there inside the building. That's probably the best place, because you said there was another door at the down another corridor. Where
Yeah,
there's
like some there's an exit down the other side of the corridor,
Yeah,
right
exactly.
down the other side of the building.
Like we have an exit at our back.
So they kind of come walking up towards the entranceway, and you can see Beth. She's in the front holding this, and there is another lady who is walking next to, just behind Beth, and she stops. She looks like she's slightly older than the others, and she says, "Hello. Who is the one that has his visions?"
Hello, my name is Silas. You must
she
be
says,
Plutonia.
"No, I am Val.
Oh.
I am to bring you all to Plutonia. You have to surrender your weapons and come with us." And that's where we'll end the session.
Wow.
Surrender the weapons. Surrender weapons.
Well, you can take away Dara's bats, but you can't take away his guns.
Des and Troy in Law and Order.
Oh, amazing.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's good. Let's go in some kind of worrying directions.
Yeah. Swiftly worrying.
So yeah, thanks very much, Ed. Very fun.
No problem.
And yeah, I guess yeah. If you like what you've seen, then please leave a comment, let us know. Hit the like button if you're not already following the channel. Then if you hit the subscribe button, it really helps the channel to grow. And yeah, looking forward to episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Excellent.
Catch you next time.
Well,
Cheers.